everything I've done. I got unmedicated 4 days so I could pay for the $10,000 IOP that I had to take care of, which I got on immediately, and I graduated from the day before I was arrested this time. Early. I didn't ask to get out early. I didn't even know when it was going to end, so I was going in the morning.
Number 24 CR 41874, the State of Ohio versus Marcy Bauer. Ms. Bauer, when we spoke last, you had indicated that you were going to retain counsel. It's my understanding you have not done that. Is that correct?
Right out of the gate, this is huge. We're in the state of Ohio versus the defendant, and when you hear a judge start pressing about counsel, that's not small talk. Under the Sixth Amendment, she has a constitutional right to an attorney. The moment she says she hasn't retained one, the entire direction of this hearing shifts. Representing yourself in a probation violation case is risky. Question for you. If your freedom was on the line, would you ever go pro se?
Correct.
All right, do you not have the funds to hire an attorney?
I chose not to, yes. My son is going to grad school, and he would have to pay the attorney, and then I would have to pay him back, which until I get out of here, I don't know if I will still have a job and can afford to pay him back. So I'd rather do this on my own, and he can have his money for grad school.
All right, so do you want me to appoint you counsel then?
I put in a few messages about that, but if that's going to take another week or so, I'd rather just kind of discuss what's going on.
Well, I can't really discuss what's going on until we sort out this counsel issue, because you have a right to counsel, and if you don't want to proceed with counsel, then you have to make a waiver of counsel,
right.
And that has to be done knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily.
Yes.
And at this point in time, so you need to make that. You really need to make that decision first before we go any further.
Well, I'd like to waive, because I just like to try to get on with my life and figure out everything. Please.
All right, Mr. Logs is going to hand you a form. It is a waiver of counsel form that
You're finished reading.
Okay, there we go.
Side where it's marked defendant.
Thank you.
23 days, Your Honor.
Thank you.
There it is, a knowing, intelligent, and voluntary waiver. Judges have to say those magic words to protect the record. But here's the catch. Once she waives counsel and admits to the violation, she's basically stepping into sentencing territory without a legal shield. No cross-examination, no mitigation strategy crafted by a professional. It's just her, and the judge, high stakes doesn't even begin to cover it.
All right, Ms. Bauer, is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you read this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
Can you believe you understand what it says?
I do.
Giving up a very valuable right.
I understand
Has
that.
anyone promised you anything or threatened you in any way to get you to waive your right to counsel?
No, they
Are
have.
you under the influence today of any drugs or alcohol?
No, I am not.
All right, the court's going to make a finding then that you've made a knowing, intelligent, and voluntary waiver of your right to counsel, and I will accept that. Now, as for the allegations of the violation of your probation, do you want to have a hearing, or do you admit to the violation?
I don't want to go any further than today, so I would like to admit with explanation.
What is your explanation?
Well, first of all, this has just been a long process, and I have wanted help the whole time. My son is very aware that he knows when I'm drinking and when I'm not. He knows I've been doing everything that I've wanted to do to get better, and I have done everything. I quit a job that was my dream job to try to make things work and get out of a worse atmosphere. I was driving here for probation meetings for 5 hours away at 2 a.m. to get here on time and on my only days off, and going back to work, and I quit that job. I have since gotten 2 other jobs that were $70,000 a year. The first one I lost because after 30 days they did a background check and found out about all this. I quickly got another one and was on the way there from going to probation to fill out all my paperwork, so I have no idea if I have that job or not. I also got on Medicaid in 4 days. I moved back here for this as well, and to take care of my father, because I was in Florida with my own radio show. I came back here and I was working and got another charge in Indiana. And the very first call I made was to Officer Torg. I have kept in constant communication of our entire relationship. There are thousands, probably, I'm exaggerating, but probably 100 at least emails proving of my contact, which I know he's extremely busy. I'm not his only priority, but I never get return answers, and I have tried everything I've done. I got unmedicated 4 days so I could pay for the $10,000 IOP that I had to take care of, which I got on immediately, and I graduated from the day before I was arrested this time. And early, I didn't ask to get out early. I didn't even know when it was going to end. So I was going in the mornings, doing that, and then going straight to work and working till midnight. And I have not had a decent night's sleep the entire time due to SoberLink, because I have to set an alarm to wake up, and sometimes it doesn't even wake me up. My health has been an issue. Everyone, I think, knows that. And I have gotten, since I was on Medicaid, I've gotten in primary care. I got back on my mental health meds. I was starting this day after I got arrested. I was to have my first individual therapy session to continue with the IOP, which they told me I was ready to go, which I said, and I even stayed an extra week. He said, you can go this week or next week. And I said, I enjoy it. I'm not trying to get out of anything. I wanted help because I knew mental health is a big part of my issue of drinking. And since I've been here, I went 7 days without my blood pressure medicine and 7 days without my Prozac, which I had gotten on and was doing well on both. My blood pressure was 170 over 114. And they never even took it again. And when I didn't show up I blew positive on the SoberLink. 15 minutes later on the retest, I did not. I had been vomiting for 2 days because I was ill, which I communicated. I got summoned on a Sunday night to come in here for the third time. I live an hour away. Other times I showed up and I was negative. And this time I was on bed rest. I have 2 doctor's notes. I have a note. It was a level 3 snow emergency from an hour away. And I contacted, and I came several times every day. And no one would answer. So I contacted the attorney, and he said that you should have this, no problem. I think you're completely creating this in your head. Why in the world would you think they're going to arrest you? And I said, because they have in the past. So I came, and I got arrested, and I don't know if I have a job anymore, and my medicine's all screwed up now. And I just I'm not drinking, I'm not doing anything wrong, I'm not.
This is where emotion floods the courtroom. She's not denying mistakes. She's framing her struggle as effort, exhaustion, and systemic miscommunication. But here's the legal tension. Probation isn't about effort. It's about compliance. Courts often operate on a binary. You either followed the terms or you didn't. Do you think intent should matter as much as results in probation cases?
I feel like I've had to jump through 500 hoops, and I'm doing it because I spent a lot of time researching the place to go so I would get mental health, not just substance abuse. And I found a really good place, and the counselor was great. And I just want to get on with my life and contribute to society like I have been. I've never been on assistance in my life, and I've had to go on SNAP. I just want my life back. Today, my rent is not just due, it's of course past due, and it's the day where they're going to break my lease if I...
That right there? That's a raw appeal to humanity. She's painting the jail environment as chaotic and destabilizing, almost arguing that incarceration is making recovery harder, not easier. But remember, judges hear emotional pleas every single day. The question becomes, is this mitigation? Or is it, in the court's view, deflection?
Don't pay it or have my son pay it. And then I'm going to have to sell my car because unless I still have my job, and then I can pay my son back in time. But if not, I'm not going to be able to. He doesn't have the money to do that either. So I'm going to sell my car, and I don't know what I'll do after that. But I know that I don't belong in here right now. And I know that I'm not the only one. And I know I don't make the rules. And I know I don't run Officer Torque's schedule. And he's been very good to me. But I can never get in contact with him. And I've talked to his boss, I've talked to his Officer Evans, they all return calls. And that's the only issue. And I just want, if I have to, I was told if there was any more issues with the SoberLink, I'd go on the ankle bracelet. I don't care. I'm not drinking, it doesn't matter. I wasn't wanting to wear it because of work, but I'll just have to get long pants. I just want my life back, and I don't want to hurt my son anymore. My bunkmate had a seizure this morning. I had to roll her over on her side, and I don't even know if she's okay. People are snorting coffee in the bathroom. I mean, it's just a lot. I just really want to get back to my life and do good things and not be in trouble anymore. My individual therapy is going to be the most important part because I've had a lot of trauma and I've never really dealt with it. I've just worked too hard and ignored it and drank and shoved my feelings down. And I'm just now opening up and dealing with all that, and I got my meds back and I was doing great. I just please want another chance to get my life back, please, before it's too late and then I don't have anything left.
Ms. Bauer, thank you for all of that. Obviously, I have people that come before me every day that have excuses and want to offer reasons for their behavior. A lot of what you said to me is just that, excuses. You've had an alcohol problem for more than 25 years.
And that's the hammer drop. 90 days. Credit for 20 served, but still a significant jail sanction on what was reduced to a misdemeanor. The judge frames this as accountability, even suggesting rock bottom might be necessary. This is a classic probation revocation moment. Rehabilitation versus punishment. Did the court just enforce boundaries or miss an opportunity for structured treatment? Sound off below.
This case did not deal with alcohol, but it dealt with methamphetamine. Now you're claiming you have mental health issues, which is odd.
And that final line, it shows she still wants the record clear. In court, perception matters just as much as facts. One comment interpreted as bad-mouthing can shape a judge's view of credibility. In the end, this wasn't just about violations, it was about trust, accountability, and whether the system believed she was ready for another chance.